Hello there, this is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series Jabba's Sail Barge. It is set number 75397, comes with 3,942 pieces, and is of course an 18 plus rated set. Now this set retails in the United States for $499.99 and in Canada for $649.99. Now without further ado, let's kick off this review starting with the box. Now, of course, taking a look at the box, you can see looking very, very nice on the 18 plus style box art with the all black, with a nice yellow or orangish light sort of emanating from the background, very much evoking the twin suns. In fact, I feel like you can actually see the twin suns here. In fact, I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be the twin suns there in the background, which is pretty nice. Of course, does make you almost wish that some sets, especially these larger ones, they would do special box art like they used to, with, what we currently have with the UCS Millennium Falcon, how it has Cloud City in the background. Like, I love the 18 plus style box art. I love how uniform it is, but I do wish sometimes they make exceptions on some sets, because I feel like this one would have looked absolutely gorgeous having a Tatooine background alongside it. Of course, top right, you have the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars included here. You also have a very cool logo, which I guess is the logo of Jabba the Hutt, or the Hutts themselves. I don't think I've ever seen that logo, but I assume that's accurate, and it still looks very nice. The top of the set has all the figures, and actually has their names, which is pretty nice. You don't always see that on an 18 plus style box, but we have some random characters that are exclusive to this set, so definitely nice, since probably wouldn't know some of those characters' names if it wasn't included. Side box art has, the sail barge front and center, looking very snazzy there. You flip the box around on the back, and again, you have some more nice imagery. Again, you can see the lights of the two twin suns, and then, of course, the set itself all opened up, which looks very nice. You also have some scenes from the film, which, again, looks pretty cool. And then you also have the dimensions, specifically the length of the vehicle, which is 77 centimeters or 30.5 inches. So quite a long ship for sure. Finally, you flip it back here, and again, you have another similar look as we had on the other side, just flipped around. Ultimate Collector Series. Now, that's not the only imagery included, as you open it up and you have a nice image of the sail barge directly from Return of the Jedi. Definitely can tell it was a bit computer generated there. Obviously, this is accurate from the film, but it's probably one of the worst shots in the whole film, if we're being honest there, just in terms of its look. Again, another scene with Jabba the Hutt and Slave Leia, or in this case now Hutt Slave, or Hutt Slayer Leia. In fact, on the box they only call her Princess Leia, which is interesting. But obviously, very surprising that they decided to make her as a figure, because there was a lot of talk that they might never do that. Now, flipping the box open again, and you have a look at Salacious B. Crumb, which looks pretty nice there. Now, that's not the only box inside. You pull this box out, just like so. Can be kind of fun to get it out. And then both sides are printed exactly the same. There's nothing different on either side there. But then you look and you have Max Rebo as well. So very, very nice. Again, I'll pull him out just so we get a nicer look at him. This was one of the leaked images of the set. It was actually one of the first things that leaked from the sail barge. So pretty funny that all it was just this sort of box art, but looks very nice. And again, there's nothing different on either side. It's exactly the same on both ends there. So very nice. There's nothing special inside the boxes at all. It was just where the bags and of course the manual was located, but still very nice. And definitely these style boxes, are definitely ones that are probably more likely to be kept compared to your typical Lego playset that you probably would want to throw out your boxes to save space, though I, of course, have not done that and have a lot of boxes as a result. Now, you are given two manuals, as you can see here, for the building process, which is pretty nice. Of course, you have the images that are rendered, but it's on white, and I don't know, I find these look a little bit better than our play sets that have the rendered images. Now, as a UCS set, you do have a nice write-up included and some nice imagery of the set and even just the actual like concept art and shots from the film. So why they chose to make the set, choice of figures, etc. So definitely pretty nice there, and not your usual I guess manual that you get in a regular playset, but pretty typical for a UCS set. Even explains the exclusive characters, which are sort of Jabba's goons, which is pretty nice, and also shows you the correct way to hold the set rather than, you know, holding it in the incorrect way. Also references the Ultimate Insider's Guide, which unfortunately for me in Canada we can't buy. I mean, it'd be expensive, but it's, as far as I'm aware, US only. Or US and UK only, because we can't get it here. Here we have the extra pieces I was left with, along with a trusty brick separator. Interestingly enough, this part was an extra for me. Kind of interesting. Normally parts like these wouldn't be extras, but they included an extra one. I definitely didn't forget it anywhere. It's just literally nowhere to place it, so that's kind of interesting. And then your, you know, usual extra pieces. You have a few extra blasters, a lot of extra Technic pieces, even an extra musket piece, which is pretty nice. Overall, just stuff you can add to your collection for free. Now let's get into the minifigures included in the set. Starting off with Jabba, and he looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, I personally didn't have a Jabba the Hutt before. I didn't have the previous Sail Barges or Jabba's Palace sets, so this is my first Jabba. But as far as I'm aware, it is pretty much the exact same mold, probably slightly updated in some ways, and maybe some slightly different prints, but overall, all that matters is he looks fantastic. He has the very nice eyes that are printed. There was some concern if they would remove pupils, since they're removing pupils from everywhere, but thankfully they realized if we remove pupils on him, he would look awful, just like some of the other characters actually do, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, he looks fantastic, and you can spin him fully 360 degrees and turn him to have him sliver away, which is pretty nice. Just a great piece. Obviously very necessary in the set, and they knocked it out of the park with this pseudo big fig. Well, let's start off with our regular minifigures with some controversy, and it's really just the fact that this C-3PO sucks. And I say sucks because there's currently a C-3PO in two sets, one that's retiring, but one that's going to be out for a whole other year, with a far more accurate C-3PO, with better arm printing, better leg printing, and a dual molded leg that should have just been included in this set. It makes zero sense why the C-3PO is this way. He does have a silver leg in Return of the Jedi. There are shots showing it. He should have, you know, fully 360 degree, or at least side leg printing, like that other figure does. Like, at the end of the day, it's, I don't get it. Like, I guess it saves him a few cents overall in the long run by stimping out on cost here, but they had to have known people would complain about this, and I feel ridiculous to complain about it, but it's the fact that they, honestly, if they didn't include the C-3PO that was in the UCS land speeder with the C-3PO buildable character, I probably wouldn't be complaining, but the fact that we got that C-3PO in that set, like, it just felt like it was a standard thing. You would just put him in both sets. Like, I don't get why this C-3PO is so much worse in this set. And it's weird, because it's an original trilogy set. Like, normally, original trilogy gets top of the line, and this one just isn't. Like, it's your standard C-3PO. It's perfectly fine for a standard playset, but this is a $500, $650 set in the US and Canada. You know, like, it's just ridiculous. Our next minifigure is Bib Fortuna, also another controversial character, as they're using the same headpiece that they used for the Book of Boba Fett. Again, just to skip out on cost since they had that mold, rather than creating a new one with him being, you know, skinnier like it should be. Like, it's just too fat, basically. So, disappointed there, not surprising, but, like, it's just, again, you know, they're charging so much for these sets, and it's just, these minifigures, again, just keep being misses. Our next minifigure and first exclusive minifigure in the set is Wolf, or Wolf. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but definitely a brand new character that's included here, and he looks pretty nice overall, as you can see. Like, just missing some leg printing, I guess, would have been nice, but not necessary. Does have a double-sided face as well. Our next minifigure is Max Rebo, and he's awesome. I can't help but laugh because if you play LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, they have this character with a very deep voice in that game. Obviously, in canon, I don't think he speaks English or I guess Galactic Basic, but it was just, I just keep thinking of that looking at this figure, having him with a deep, soulful voice, and it's just, I don't know, I just love it. Very happy that they included him. Great addition. I believe he's exactly the same that was in previous Sail Barge set, so that's nice. Didn't have to change him, and he just looks fantastic. Moving on, we have Kifaba, and again, another exclusive figure in this set, and he looks fantastic again. Just another one of Jabba's goons. Looks pretty nice, has some great torso print, as you can see. He does not have a double-sided face print, simply because his, sort of headpiece wouldn't have been hidden enough to include, but overall still a very nice figure. Our next minifigure is probably the surprising addition, but was definitely necessary in the set, so I'm glad LEGO managed to do it or convinced Disney to let them do it. And that's including Slave Leia here, obviously just called Princess Leia, not even Hutt-Slayer Leia on the box, but she's Slave Leia. There was a slave in Star Wars. Oh no. At the end of the day, great figure, has some great printing. There's been some talk about the leg printing, being more like shorts rather than, leaving some line available. And I mean, I like that they did the dual molded legs with the, printing here. It would have had them print, and honestly, this is where I'm going to defend LEGO here, because, and maybe I'm giving them like off with a pass here, but I feel like if they printed, some skin here, it wouldn't have looked as good. Like if we're just looking at what happened with Commander Fox, for instance, and how the red looked more pinkish. Just an example, like I feel like if they printed a skin tone on here, it just wouldn't have matched. Again, custom companies are able to do this, but LEGO can't because they have to skip out on cost somehow. But next up, we have a Gamorrean guard, and he looks absolutely gorgeous. Believe nothing different about him than what we've gotten recently, including in the Boba Fett's Palace set. So overall, though, he's fantastic. My only complaint, I guess, is I feel like they could have included two, because we definitely saw multiple of them on Jabba Sail Barge, and I think just having two of him, two Gamorrean guards, would have made sense and would have been perfectly fine. I kind of get why they didn't, because maybe it would have been weird having two standing side by side, and they wanted, a diverse cast of characters. But still, he's fantastic. Great mold, looks fantastic. You can take off his molded piece there, revealing just a basic brown torso, no printing, which makes sense. I mean, it's always going to be covered up anyways. Our final exclusive figure in the set is Vizam, and again, another really nice figure. Has some great torso printing, as you can see there. Looks pretty nice. He does have a double-sided face, or like printing on both sides of his face, but his other side doesn't have a face print. It's just the back of his head. Still looks pretty nice overall, and definitely a nice inclusion. Moving on to our regular old R2-D2, just with a drink tray, and it's the exact same sort of design they did before, where it's just a 2x4 brick plate, and then some drinks just on top of it with his head on top as well. So pretty standard. I actually wonder if one day they'll design something more unique or give him a slightly different mold here, but for now I think it works and is perfectly fine. And our final character is Salacious B. Crumb, who is pupilless. That makes him look just not great, honestly. Like, again, it's a minor thing, but just the pupilless eye design I just don't like. Made that pretty clear. I thought it was fine on a couple characters, and I thought it actually looked perfectly fine, but now they're doing it on all these alien or evil characters, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good. Unfortunately, because I think overall his design and mold is pretty good. It's just the face print just doesn't look as good as the old one. Doing one final look through at all the characters on the stand that you build and is included, which is definitely pretty nice if you want to have your characters standing on the outside of the sail barge, which looks pretty nice, and just really nice sort of design. Very simple, but works quite well. And finally, taking a look at the stand with the plaque and Jabba, along with the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars anniversary brick. So as you can see, it looks pretty nice. You have all that information from the sail barge, which you can read if you so desire. It is also printed on the matte finish rather than the glossy finish, which just didn't work out. It didn't look great, unfortunately, and looked smeared all the time. So glad they went back to this. Now take a look at the actual sail barge itself, and I have to say it looks absolutely amazing. I love the use of the different shades of brown to represent sort of weathering of the vessel, as obviously it's been used for a long time by Jabba as he takes his enemies or prisoners to be fed to the Sarlacc, presumably quite often. You can see the nice fabric here to represent the top of the sail barge, the sort of sails, I guess, best way to put it, which looks awesome. You have these sections here that are fully movable, and there's one on the other side as well. Flipping the set, you can get a nice look at the vehicle itself there. See the other section here of what I mean here. That's fully movable, 360 degrees. Looks pretty cool. The back looks pretty nice as well, I have to say. You can even get some nice look at some of the weapons on the side there, which looks pretty nice. And then it is pretty uniform. Like, there's definitely some different placements of these, parts here. But, overall, it looks very similar to the other side there. And again, showing the front as well. And, the different spots you can sort of place other minifigures as well. Now, of course, as shown on the box, you do have lots of sections that you can actually open up to reveal different parts inside. So, starting off here, flip that down, as you can see. But not only that, you can also flip there and here as well and get a nice overall look inside the sail barge. Here you can get sort of a nice look inside and see, the spot where he plays Jabba, which I'll place in a moment, the stairs to the top of the ship, or ladder, I guess I should say, and then even some nice prison spot along with the, sort of pilot area to control the sail barge. So all looks pretty nice there. Now, this isn't the only way you can access it, as of course you can also pull the top sections off. Which looks just like that. Now, I just want to note you cannot move the back section or the front section. Those are locked in place with Technic pieces, but you can actually move on the back side here as well. I'll show off in a moment, but part of it is sort of blocked by a wall, which looks just like that. So obviously on these sections here, you can't really see. This other side has some nice sort of a nice Easter egg, which actually has the crate that holds the chain to attach to Princess Leia. So definitely nice there. But overall, you can get another look at the front of the sort of cockpit area, I guess. But other than that, it's pretty blocked off. So you might as well just leave it closed up on that side. Starting off with the sort of cockpit area, as you can see, you have 2 seats available and some nice, different sort of computer elements used, specifically with stickers. But it definitely gives a nice look. So as you can see there, utilizing some different stickers, one that, clearly shows the sail barge, and just some other ones with stickers that we haven't seen before, but looks pretty nice. You have some nice control panels here to control the ship, and then some typical Star Wars, parts utilized as the computer elements there. As you can see, looks pretty nice, and you, of course, can fit your any characters you want inside there. And just to show, looks like that. So obviously you might want to have them leaning back to fit into the seat, but you can fit characters inside, which looks pretty nice. Moving on to our next section, which is sort of a prisoner bar portion of the vessel, along with sort of a weapons rack, which looks pretty nice inside there. So you can actually lift it all up, which is pretty nice to access it. It on the other side will be, fully open, as you can see. But you can see you have a bone. Obviously, they were eating something. Presumably, this was meant for, Chewbacca. I'm not sure if, obviously, when the scene happens, they're just on the desert skiffs already. So I don't know if they were prisoners on the sail barge and then transported off or what. But you can see some imagery showing how many days they've been inside. So obviously, this one probably wasn't Chewbacca, I guess I should say. But you have a seat and I guess some water and a bone from some animal or thing that the prisoner ate. So pretty nice, and I guess I should show you can, of course, open up the prison gate itself to let the prisoner out or be escorted out. And like I said, there are some nice weapons on the wall here. So you have some spears and spears with an axe handle, the musket, and then some other cleavers and whatnot, which again all looks pretty good there. Just another close-up of that, along with some handcuffs on the side, and then what looks like I don't know what this is supposed to represent, but looks pretty cool, and I think we saw something similar in the background of the scene. Moving on to the kitchen itself, which also is connected to this ladder system here, which is where they would climb up out of the, onto the deck of the sail barge. But overall, you have some nice fish pieces here, some cleavers, other utensils, and items, as you can see, which looks pretty nice there. A nice sort of design for a kitchen. You have a stove with a flame going on, which is pretty cool there, and just looks very nice, I have to say. Along with, of course, a garbage can, because you need that. And then you also have some nice references to some meals. So obviously they're making some sort of I guess it kind of looks like Star Wars ham, and then also some soup. And finally, we made the main section, which is Jabba's section here. You have a portrait of Jabba the Hutt there as a sticker, which looks pretty nice. And just like on Jabba's little stand, very easy to add him in. You just place him and then sit him on, and he's good to go. And he looks pretty nice. And of course, you can also have Princess Leia standing in front or being held by him by grabbing, of course, the chain and attaching it to her. So that's what we'll do. Definitely nice that you can sort of reenact that scene, I guess. Obviously, of course, reenact Jabba being choked out and Leia becoming Hutt Slayer Leia, but that's definitely nice. The final section of the sail barge is Max Rebo's little bandstand, which is pretty nice. So you can, of course, also pull it out just like some of the other sections in order to get better access, which looks just like this, utilizing some sticker pieces, as you can see. Looks pretty nice. Now, Max Rebo isn't actually there's no studs inside here to hold him in. He's literally just sitting inside and just being held, which is fine, I guess. I think they probably could have incorporated some design to have, the legs be held a little bit better. But overall, when he's in there, you're not going to be moving it around, so you're not too worried about it. And it looks like that with him controlling it, and just another angle of him playing for Jabba, as you can see, looking pretty good there. Here we'll take a look at our two other sections that form the top of the sail barge. And to do that, I'm just going to take off the sort of plastic or sort of cloth piece here, just to get a better look at what's on top here. So just so it's easier for you all to see. And you can kind of see the design that they had to come up with, which is pretty interesting, what they did here to make it work, at least to me. So as you can see, you have the main cannon that, of course, Luke utilizes to blow up the entire, ship, essentially, after they free everyone inside. You also have this piece here that you can pop open, which I presume is meant to be where the ladder piece sort of opens up to, so you can climb out. So that's pretty nice that they have included. And you also have this section here that opens up again to allow the characters to climb out of. But I just find, obviously if you want to reenact that scene, you'd have to remove this plate, but still nice that they have included that. The cannon itself looks pretty nice and accurate, I have to say. It can even turn fully 360 degrees, somewhat, I guess I should say, because it will be somewhat blocked by this piece here, but overall it does turn. And then you can also angle it downward to face the deck to blow up the sail barge itself. You also have some additional cannons on the side that you can have some characters be controlling, as there is actually some studs to have them, stand and be perfectly in line, as you can see right here. Looking pretty nice there. And again, very easy to put these parts back in place, as it's just being held on some Technic little hole circles there. Looks just like that, with the section to represent them, you know, climbing upwards. So you just open that up, and then you can actually sort of see the ladder right through for them to climb up into. It's definitely not perfect. As you can see, like the ladder kind of sticks backwards a little bit too much there, but it works. You're obviously never going to really utilize it, but it's nice that they tried. And again, quite easy to put back together, just placing those back in place. And again, showing the other section with part of this piece lifted off just to make it easier to see. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. You have some additional cannons on this side that you can move to the other side if you wanted to as well. Like it's just locked in place with just a standard clip piece. So you can move it to the other side if you want to have it on the same side. But overall, that's completely up to you. You also have these sections here, and I now realize what those other parts were. They are additional ladders for characters to climb up, as you have these sections here that can open up. So ladders that are visible right here are what they climb out of, which is pretty nice. And I just didn't realize that until making this, that's what that was. And again, very easy to reattach these parts here, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or being difficult to place back on if you want to take it off, essentially. And again, just placing it just like so. The LEGO Star Wars UCS Jabba Sail Barge, to me, is a near perfect set. The model itself, to me, is fantastic. It's just absolutely extraordinary, has some great play functionalities, and is awesome to see that they went this route rather than it having been a non-play set. Like, I'm glad that it is the way it is with all the play functionalities that it really deserves. Unfortunately, it's hampered by some poor minifigure design choices. Overall, I feel like C-3PO, Bib Fortuna, Princess Leia to a slight extent, and Salacious B. Crumb do hurt the set overall. When you're paying this much for a LEGO set, I feel like you should demand better, and I just don't think this gets it. The set itself is an easy 9.5 out of 10. The minifigures alone, to me, are honestly that poor. Like, especially C-3PO and Bib Fortuna. Like I said, I feel like, you know, Salacious B. Crumb, they're doing the eyes. They don't look that great. Princess Leia, I can personally get around. Like, if those were the two only issues in the set, man, that's great. But C-3PO specifically, like, the fact that that figure is in such a cheaper set and they could have just included it just boggles my mind. And then Bib Fortuna, just laziness from LEGO's end not to give him the proper headpiece. Just disappointing there. I really, really think this is a fantastic set. Just one to definitely wait for double points, especially with the fact that the promo is no longer available. This is a set, if you're going to get it, wait for it to go on sale from a different retailer, or if you're buying it from LEGO, wait for double points and at least get a little bit more value there. There's a chance, you know, we could see this set getting a great deal just like the Razor Crest did recently. But that set had been out for quite a while, so don't expect a sale like that from LEGO for quite some time. But if you're willing to wait on this set, it's going to be out for a few years. I'd wait to get it for sure. With that being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars UCS Jabba Sail Barge in the comments down below. Have you guys picked up this set, or are you planning to? Are you going to wait for it to go on sale elsewhere or for double points from LEGO? Let me know. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.